Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes. It's been a minute, and we have a lot to get to today. A lot of sports talk, a lot of draft talk. Uh, how about this? There's a certain individual who decided to take a day that was meant for a lot of young men, especially on the first round, but somehow he stole all the headlines. You kind of want to say shame on him, but then when you look at the whole situation, you almost want to say shame on the organization because they're part of this blame as well too. Basically, what this organization did to this particular player was they thought they could be King Solomon and have this certain individual as their concubine, as their wife. And last year they drafted a concubine and could put them under the same roof. If you haven't figured it out by now, which I'm pretty sure you might have, and unless you're living on the rock, you already know. I'm talking about the one and only Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people are saying, how could Aaron Rodgers take the day that's supposed to be the most meaningful day for a bunch of young men that are coming out of college, getting ready to enter into their pro life, and this leaks out on draft day? You're saying shame on him. But there should also be some shame on the Packers organization for letting this thing go the way it's gone. You should have known something was going to happen. And this just didn't happen overnight. Let's take you back to the NFC Championship playoff game. When Matt LaFleur decides to go ahead and kick a field goal instead of letting Aaron win or lose the game for him. The same man that was league MVP, put up MVP numbers, could have easily said, all right, since you want to bring another woman into the fold, that's in essence what they did by drafting another quarterback. He could have easily said, okay, y'all want to play a game? This is how I'm going to play this season. But no, he went out like a sniper. Earned MVP. And some are going to say, well, yeah, a lot of those numbers he got are against the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. Look at the division he played in. It doesn't matter. Green Bay created this mess, and now they're trying to say the right thing, but the damage is already done. They're trying to retract, but Aaron has said he does not want to play in Green Bay. Get me out of here. There are teams that are interested. Heck, when the San Francisco 49ers got wind of it, they picked up the phone, and the call was very quick. Basically, Green Bay said, thanks for call, but no thanks. So now the $1 million question is, when this is all said and done, will Aaron Rodgers be in the Green Bay Packers uniform first game of the season? Or will Jordan Love be their starting quarterback? It remains to be seen. The NFL draft Were you surprised at how it went? In essence, we knew the first two quarterbacks were going to be Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. So in essence, the draft really didn't start until the third pick. Which in essence means that the 49ers, according to everybody's sources, everybody that was in the know, they were supposed to make Mac Jones the number 3 pick. It wasn't until it was announced that the San Francisco with the number 3 pick out of North Dakota State, Trey Lance. Imagine all the people scrambling around, especially all the media pundits, all those who were in the know were scrambling around like, we did not see this coming. I immediately, while I was on the phone with my co-host on my podcast, I immediately told him one or two things are going to happen. Jimmy G will probably be the starting quarterback this year, but next year he goes to the Patriots. That was one scenario. The other thing I said was when Mac Jones didn't go number 3, I said Mac Jones is going to the Patriots. And we both came away with the assessment. He seemed like a Bill Belichick type person. Then we move on to the draft. There was some movement going on. Chicago moves up to number 11. And now they have their quarterback of the future, or maybe of the present, in the form of Justin Fields. Now some are asking, why did Justin Fields fall to number 11? That seems low. It seems like he should have been one in the top 5 pick. Quarterback-wise, he was still top 5. But Justin Fields has an unfair stigma attached over his head. He's a long line of Ohio State quarterbacks that didn't pan out in the NFL. And I hate to say it this way, but let's just face it. A black quarterback. Yes, it's easy to tag him and say he's a long line of Ohio State quarterbacks that didn't pan out in the NFL that well. But when you look at the past few quarterbacks that have been out of Ohio State and running that Ohio State offense, they've been black quarterbacks. So you can't deny that. There is no denying that whatsoever. I told my co-host the reason that he didn't go higher than what he did go was plain and simple. Maybe it's because he wasn't half Dak. Speaking of Mac Jones, who went number 15 to the Patriots. Is it that he could possibly be in the best situation? Now let me ask you this question. Let's play a little trivia game. What is Mac spelled backwards? You guessed it. Mac spelled backwards is Cam. So the question is, does Cam start the season? And at what point will we see Mac Jones? Or is Cam really, as Bill Belichick said, Cam is still our quarterback? until there's some competition. Cam is still our quarterback. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. So what we do know right now, Cam is still the quarterback. But could this be a blessing in disguise that Mac Jones, who comes out of Alabama under Nick Saban, who by chance also is a good friend of Bill Belichick, couldn't have landed up in a better position? Because when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick is going to still go down as one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, with or without Tom Brady. Speaking of which, how about the fact that the Buccaneers may have found their replacement? And they found him within the state. Florida quarterback Kyle Trask. That's right. We don't know when Brady is going to hang up the cleats. But could Kyle Trask be the heir apparent to the throne? The question is, when Brady decides to step down, how much is going to be left of a Tampa Bay team once he steps down, and what will Kyle Trask have to work with? So he may be the heir apparent, but what will he have to work with? Will he still have a plethora of receivers, tight ends? Will that defense still be a violent defense? It could be a major overhaul after Brady decides to step down. But let's go back to the number one pick, Trevor Lawrence. We know Trevor Lawrence most likely will be the face of the franchise for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer is his coach, who has already made some questionable decisions. How about the fact, though, now that not only do they have Trevor Lawrence, they also have his backfield mate, Travis Etienne, whom Urban Meyer has come out on record and made the most moronic, idiotic statement that could possibly be made when he said, "What we found our third down back." Excuse me? Urban, for someone that's supposed to know football as well as you do, someone who's supposed to be respected as a coach, how could you make such an asinine statement as to say, "We found our third down back," when this kid can play every down? Urban, you followed the college game. You was part of Fox Sports analysis team. You followed the college game. You've seen Clemson play. And you come out and say, "We found our third down back." Makes me tend to wonder, how long do you think Urban Meyer will be around in Jacksonville? Because when it comes down to it, either the coach is going to have to go or the superstar player is going to have to go. The superstar player is hard to replace. The coach is replaceable. So we're going to keep our eye on that Jacksonville situation, because the way it's shaping up, they have some key components on that team where this team could possibly vie, if not for a playoff berth in their first year, possibly a wild card berth. And thus the bar will be raised for the years to come afterwards. You're listening to In the Zone. This is yours truly, Anthony Smith.